Hi, my name is Sady Paulson, and I would like to share information about myself and what incited my big moment in life. Let me start with the fact that I was born with cerebral palsy, with very little hope in life for adulthood. Cerebral palsy (CP) is a broad term used to describe a group of chronic palsies, disorders that impair control of movement due to damage to the developing brain. CP is a non-progressive brain disorder, meaning the brain damage does not continue to worsen throughout life. There are many different types of CP. The two types that I have are called spastic CP and athetoid CP. Spastic CP causes stiffness and creates difficulties with my movement of balance, and athetoid CP is characterized by my involuntary and uncontrolled movement. In my life, I have to overcome these personal challenges to thrive in my adult life. I have been blessed with achieving these challenges with the help of a few talented individuals. When I think about technology, I'm imagining no limitation, due to the possible growth and changes in development on a daily basis concerning the industry. To simplify the term technology as it concerns me, on a daily adventures, my day begins with the use of my electrical wheelchair, that I control with my head pressing on the headrest. Then I move to my MacBook Pro, which along with my iPad and iPhone connects me to the world outside my home. I am able to control all these devices using my switches on the headrest. This technology has opened up many new doors for myself and given me a career choice that my CP does not limit my abilities to be successful.
With over 70 years of outstanding service in 5 different locations in North Dakota, focusing on individuals with disabilities, the Ann Carlson Center feels very fortunate to have had the determination of Dr. Ann Carlson in their driving force to inspire individuals and their families to overcome life obstacles. In 1985, Dr. Ann Carlson was honored by the center with a bronze statue of her standing with a young child at the front entrance. As a world-renowned advocate for individuals with disabilities and their families, her ability to triumph over her own physical challenges continues to inspire countless individuals worldwide. Dr. Ann Carlson believed, the center provides children with empowerment. Empowerment is going from dependence to independence.
One day a counselor from the vocational rehab office contacted me about visiting a place called Ann Carlson Center in Jamestown, North Dakota. I met with the occupational therapist and the physical therapist, and that is when I met the man Mark Coppin. He is the man that erupted my big moment by introducing me to some technology that he believed might interest me.
First time I met Sady, she came into the Ann Carlson Center for an evaluation, and during that part of the evaluation she actually came down into our learning center, and we started talking about kind of some of the technologies that were available to her. And I knew that she could do switches. We looked at switches that were mounted off to each side of her head, and we set her up just on a basic scanning system. Very quickly she picked up on it, I mean almost immediately. So she came out to our camp. Typically during the camps, a lot of the kids would take a lot of different photos, so we'd set them up for taking photos. So Sadie was out taking photos, and she would bring her photos in at the end of the day, as well as the other kids. I would edit those photos together for the camp video at the end of the week. So I'd bring them in and I'd start editing those together. And Sadie looked at me and she said that she wanted to try video editing. She was very interested in it. So we set her up in the system. We set her up on a scanning system, which was Switch Access. We set her up on a Mac. She'd never used a Mac before. And we set her up on a video editing system that she'd never ever used before. And I told her, I said, okay, Sadie, I'm going to give you 5 photos. And you take these 5 photos, and by the end of camp, I want you to put them together with transitions in between them. And I showed her how to do it and set her up for that. She had put together a 3-minute video of all the photos with different transitions and different movements and titles and the whole thing. And at that point, I realized that I was witnessing something quite special. I knew that there was some potential here she was only limited by what the technology could do for her. And we needed to find those technologies that will unleash that extreme potential and that extreme drive. And that's where we set on a path for her to become a cinematographer and a videographer and an editor, and this is one of those people that are really going to go far. And this is one of those unique individuals that you need to knock down barriers and find those tools that will allow her to do those things that she wants to do, those video editing, and put the technology into her hands that will allow her to do those things. She just takes every piece of technology and she pushes it to the limit. And again, right now, with her skill set and her extreme drive and her extreme passion for what she likes to do, every time there's a new technology that comes out, we know that's going to take her. She's going to take it to that next level. So she has a bright future in that, and she's got that personality that anybody that meets her and knows her really knows that there's that drive and there's that potential there, and everybody kind of gravitates toward her because they know that she's going to do great things someday. She is now. Today's technology can level the playing field for many of the people that I work with, and it is finding those tools, finding those solutions that will enable them to do those things that they want to do, whether it's video editing, whether it's text messaging, whether it's sending out emails and keeping track with their family. It's impacted my life in quite a few ways because it allowed me to be able to meet some just absolutely incredible individuals that have incredible amounts of potential, and their bodies just don't allow them to do those things. But with the use of technology, as in the case with Sady, she knows she can do everything now. And when she's taking her classes online, nobody on the other end knows that she has a disability. All they see is her ability, and her ability shines, and the technology is transparent. You don't know the technology is even there. It lets us see the real Sady and the real potential that she has. And that's why I think we see that in all the individuals that I work with. Pushes them, gives them that ability to really shine. What do I plan to accomplish this year? Well, there are so many things I want to accomplish. It's spreading the word that technology really does have the power to transform people's lives. It really does allow people to access their abilities. But it also, I think one of the other goals I have is to have people like Sady tell their story, because she's an inspiration to other individuals who don't realize that the technology can allow them to do those things. They can allow them to be photographers, videographers, newscasters, anything that we can do with the computer, because once we have the access to the computer, they have access to do everything that almost the rest of us can do, because all those tools are on the devices. So it's really telling the story now, I think, and I love telling Sady's story. I do it all the time because it does. I'll go all over, and parents and professionals and young children will say that she's inspired them to really push the limits and realize their dreams.
Well, I've worked at the Ann Carlson Center for 30 years now, and I'm a speech-language pathologist. I mostly work with kids that are nonverbal, so we, use a lot of visual supports and assistive technology to help them to be able to communicate. Became an Apple Distinguished Educator and a champion for change, and we actually got to go to Washington, and he got to shake President Obama's hand, and he's spoken to the United Nations a couple times. He's traveled all over the world doing presentations and running technology camps and everything, and I'm very proud of everything he's done, and I support him in any way that I can. He's always learning something new, so since the time I've met him, he's made so many interesting changes in our lives, and we've done a lot of interesting things in our lives, partially due to the nature of his job.
I never guessed that one person could affect another person's life so strongly with one simple suggestion. However, this is true when Mark Coppin shared his knowledge of technology with me and showed me the unlimited possibilities. Mark is a very intense person when it comes to developing technical tools for an individual's use, and we butted heads many times during this process. Yet, Mark never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. Because of Mark's passion, we have developed a strong business and personal relationship over the many years since we first met. His technology assistance has not only allowed me to become more independent, it has given me access to a successful career. I continue to advance as life goes on. I've been hit with a lot of different obstacles, but they helped me grow as a person. My challenges are not who I am, however I am doing my best to overcome them. The biggest challenge of them all was starting my journey through college. I attended college for a science degree in digital cinematography at Full Sail University. My opportunities have more than tripled with the use of technology and knowing Mark. I met some very influential people on my journey that supported me and gave me strength to accomplish my dreams. I will become a contributing factor in the working world and grow even farther. My future goals are: 1. To go back to school and get a second degree in social work. Then combining it with my cinematography degree to start my own day program that will focus on people's disabilities and how they can contribute to society. I will make short films that will demonstrate their abilities, then distribute the short films to potential employers. My second goal is to become a director or editor of films that incorporate people with special needs into a variety of roles and characters. I really hope that you can see the technology is not all about computers, smartphones, and televisions. For many people, technology gives them access to their worlds. Lastly, one person can change a life. Mark Coppin did.